When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
The live stream is starting right now. I forgot to take the graphic off the screen again. BJ Rains and Jay Tust with you. Welcome on to a Tuesday edition of Bronco Nation News Live. Jay Tust, sports director over at KTVB. BJ Rains with you from Bronco Nation News. And Jay, if only we had something to talk about today, man. Going to be kind of a tough show to come up with topics.
Whoa. I know you're being sarcastic, but I don't even really know how to respond to that.
Well, there is the obvious story, and I think today we'll focus mostly on the quarterbacks. We got some clips to hear. There were some other stuff that maybe we can touch on the offensive line, but it's our chance to get your first thoughts on the game the other night, Jay. I've talked to Johnny since then and a couple other folks, but we'll get to all that. We got a lot to discuss and talk about, but also very excited. I guess I'll just do this right off the top, announcing another new show, Jay. We're just continuing to roll here. We had so much success with the subscriber-only show, and I heard so many great comments about Winston Venable and Johnny and I, and at the end of that show, and we heard great comments about you, but I know you're too busy on Wednesdays. So, but we are pumped to announce a new show, Bronco Nation News After Dark. We might give it a cooler name, but right now it's BNN After Dark. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m., it'll be Winston Venable, John Mallory, and myself talking BSU football. And every episode, we will have one of Winston's teammates join us. The first guest tomorrow is going to be Tyler Shoemaker. So he will join us, and we'll kind of just go down memory lane with some stories and stuff. We're pumped to announce our new sponsor, Circa Sports, Circa Casino down in Las Vegas. The first episode tomorrow, I will actually be in the sports book down at Circa in Las Vegas live to record the episode. I'll be doing a live interview with the owner of the casino, Derek Stevens, to kick off this. So a really cool partnership. We're happy to have Circa Sports on board. If you head down to Vegas, make sure you go to Circa. And I think Johnny and Winston and bringing some of Winston's guests on and his knowledge on a more conversational, kind of laid-back Wednesday night show, I think is going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. And folks can check out the first episode. But the big key is you got to be a subscriber. So it'll be a private link sent to your email. It's only for subscribers of Bronco Nation News. So make sure you're a subscriber and you get to jump in on that. Jay, yesterday we had the press conferences, all that good stuff. You had Tim Plough, saying a lot, but also not taking a whole lot of the blame himself. Talking about the quarterbacks and the players kind of reading the press clippings and listening to stuff like this too much. What did you make overall of what you heard yesterday from the coaches?
Coaches, more or less, they're kind of like father figures, right? So I think that what they're doing right now is they're protecting what they can. And right now, Hank just might be in a place that they feel he needs a little guidance and a little protection. So with that being said, yesterday Andy said that the quarterbacks are going to be, off limits to the media for the immediate future. I mean, I don't know. There really wasn't much of a timeline given, but I guess I'll say the interim. And I don't know. That's kind of where they are right now. I mean, I think I go back to that game, BJ, and man, we've been covering this team for a while. That first half in Corvallis was one of the more shocking halves of football that I've probably watched Boise State play in my dozen years covering the team. I mean, when I said that it might have been the second most shocking next to Utah State in 2015, there are definitely some other games in there that were pretty darn shocking too. There have been a few, but to have Hank start the way he did, and I mean, take it as a compliment, man. Like, if anything, take it as a compliment. The way that it went, given what we know about you, I was completely shocked. Completely shocked.
No doubt about it. And you could have given me 100 scenarios of how the first half was going to play out, and I'm not sure I would have picked the way it did. And Hank Bachmeier being benched 6 possessions into the season. But I'll just get this out of the way. I know I wrote about it the other day, and what I heard yesterday. I said I thought Hank Bachmeier should start, and I don't know how you feel, Jay, if you're ready to kind of make a prediction or say, but based on what I heard from the coaches yesterday, I think Hank Bachmeier is going to start on Friday night.
I do. I agree with that, and I think that BJ, we actually talked a little bit about this in the parking lot after the press conference, and I think we're both on the same page here that it just feels like, hey, Talon is an athletic freak. He's so good you don't know when he's bad at times with his athleticism. And what I mean by that is, Tim Plough was able to shed some light on some things that, Talon didn't do perfectly. And it's, missing an open receiver here or lining up in a wrong formation was the correct way for me to phrase that. But he didn't do what he needed to do to get the offense in the best position on a specific play. But while wide receivers are wide open in rhythm of the offense, he decides to pull it down and run 74 yards for a touchdown, So sometimes he's so good that you don't know that he's not actually doing what, the offense is intended to do. When it comes to Hank, though, this is getting back to what was my original point here. It just feels like if this Boise State football team wants to peak, if this team this year, these players, they're given classes, like all of this stuff, if this wants to be the best it possibly can be, it feels like they need Hank Bachmeier to be the best that he could possibly be this year.
No doubt about it. I think we saw Talon Green. Just the offense just looks different when he's out there. His size, his mobility, certainly the ability to break down plays. And we'll hear from Andy Avalos. He said that, you'd always like to have a mobile quarterback. There's always an advantage to that. But you also, have to weigh that with the experience of a Hank Bachmeier. It's obvious from listening to Avalos and Plough that Talon Green doesn't have the same command of the offense or knowledge of the offense, which is to be expected. Also is not the as polished of a passer as Hank Bachmeier is. So I truly sounds like they're going to give Hank another shot, but if he gets off to another rough start, you go to Green and maybe stick with Green at this point.
Yeah, it's hard to find words. It really is at times, BJ, because it was so puzzling, and you go back and to see how quickly it kind of fell apart for Hank. It feels like maybe something else was impacting him, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't assume that, right? Just to see how bad it started like that. We've seen a lot of Hank Bachmeier. We have never seen that Hank Bachmeier, and especially that he had his best week of practice. Tim Plough said best week of practice leading up to the game, and it just didn't translate to the field, right? And so it was just kind of puzzling. I mean, Tim Plough said he kind of knew after 6 plays that Hank just wasn't in it. And what I mean by that is just kind of something was off. Something was off.
And we can I can play that right now, actually. But I do have a comment. Someone commented about Talon Green, and I think it's good. But let's hear quickly Tim Plough, short clip, him talking about when he realized something wasn't right.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be an open conversation. I think sometimes people might perceive, hey, the quarterback's playing poorly, and they don't know the true story. Hey, maybe he did everything correctly and someone else did something wrong, but it's always going to fall on him. There's moments like the other night where he was clearly making poor decisions and not seeing the defense the way he's capable of seeing it. I knew that right away within the first 6 plays. Hey, this is not Hank. This is not what I've seen. And so I was communicating that to Andy pretty early on, hey, something's going on here. This is not the Hank that we know. And before this thing gets out of hand, we might want to think about putting the young kid in and not letting this thing get too far out of hand. And unfortunately, it was too much to overcome.
So they saw right away 6 plays in. Like we all saw something wasn't right, but I don't think any of us in our minds were thinking that he was actually going to pull him. And I remember seeing Green, playing catch, but he's still at the headset on. So you're thinking, oh, he's just on his own, kind of warming up in case you need him or whatever. Then all of a sudden he goes and grabs his helmet, and I see John Ojukwu and a couple guys like getting in his face, encourage him, and all this. And I think I just kind of said in the press box, like, I think Taylon Green's going in this game. Like it was just stunning to see it happen. But he did some good things at times too, but obviously not enough, like you heard there, to win the game.
Well, it goes back to that. There's some cliche out there where what's the game, 90% mental and 10% physical, or I don't know, something like that. And it really holds true in this case. We saw Hank Bachmeier play with, more or less just a ravaged knee last year for over half of a season. And he got through it, and the team kept him in the game because they felt he gave them their best opportunity to win, right? And now he's healthy, but something upstairs just wasn't right on Saturday night. And so they recognized that, and that was just going to be something that was too difficult to overcome on that given night. And so, yeah, they went in another direction with Taylon Green.
This QB controversy has been great for BNN. Never seen this chat so active on any of these morning shows before. Yeah, I mean, a win probably would have helped all of our causes more, Jay, but a good old QB controversy is never bad for sports talk radio or website page views.
Yeah, it's not. I don't even know what to call it at this point. Is it a competition? Is it a controversy? Is it a conundrum? Where I don't know exactly where we're at in this thing. I honestly think that we're just going to have to wait for Friday night, see how it plays out. I think that's what we're going to have to wait and see, because right now it's just a little too murky to predict exactly what's going to happen. I mean, does Hank of fall camp, who apparently was really good throughout fall camp, does he show up at New Mexico and give them a shot to win? I will say this: Rocky Long is sitting on the other side of that coach's press box, and he can really dial up some tricky stuff on defense. So you need a guy out there under center that knows what he's doing and has confidence and conviction in what he's doing, right? And if you don't, I know that it says New Mexico on the front of their jerseys, and they have often been a program that has really struggled at times, but you could make it a difficult night in Albuquerque in a hurry if you don't go in mentally right.
Well, Friday in Albuquerque, Bronco Nation News will be there thanks to Idaho Central Credit Union powering our road trip coverage. You can see why 1 in 4 Idahoans have made the switch to ICCU at iccu.com. The mobile banking, it's just so easy to deposit a check, manage all your accounts right from your phone. Again, iccu.com, the official bank of Bronco Nation News. Lithia Ford of Boise as well. I am a customer of theirs, purchased an F-150 recently. Couldn't have been happier. The process was smooth and easy and quick, and very appreciative of the salesperson, Kim, that helped me out there, and everything that Jim and their whole staff did there. So Lithia Ford of Boise, make sure you check them out. They got the great fall kickoff sale going on right now. And if you're not looking to buy a car, but you want to get rid of yours, they will buy your used vehicle to make you a cash offer on the spot, even if you don't buy a vehicle from them. And of course, rowpaint.com as well. Whether you're looking for that concrete coating in your basement, in your garage, out there on your back patio, they can help you out. It's 4 times stronger than epoxy. And right now, Jay, you can get 10% off your interior home painting. So if you want to schedule that interior painting in a room of your house, your whole house, for the wintertime, you get 10% off. So make sure you check them out at roepaint.com. One side story to this potential, Jay, that we also talked about with our football analyst outside on the parking lot yesterday. I'm not sure if we can reveal who that was that we were talking to, but it's very with the transfer portal now, this whole thing is just crazy because I said it in the press box, but what if Taylon Green goes off, had a great game, and then they ride with him for the rest of the season? Obviously, Hank's ticked off, so he transfers or leaves or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Baylor or Texas Tech or, Texas come in and say, we missed on this guy. Why don't you come play for Texas? And we'll offer you, $400,000 in NIL money or whatever. So somebody had commented on here. I'm trying to find it, but it is very that whole side story of trying to keep Taylon Green happy, and you want him to play, but also, Zach Davies said someone's going to see how good he is, and they will scoop him up in the transfer portal. They also say give the kid time and reps. He's going to change the future of BSU football for the next few years. Well, there's no guarantee of that either, Jay. You play him all year, and he can still be gone. He can still be gone after the season.
Yeah, it's tough to assume that stuff, right? But at the same time, with the current climate of NCAA and collegiate athletics, you would be naive to ignore it. Like you do, that is a song and dance that you absolutely have to consider. And so that's something that plays into this without a doubt. Like, it's nothing that will be discussed in the media or in any type of public eye, but somewhere in that football facility, like, it has to come up at some point in time. And even if it's not a main topic, like, it's not going to decide who starts. It's not going to decide the exact amount of playing time, in my opinion, but it might decide. Like, you probably have to consider it when you're talking to a kid about his future and making sure you're considering his feelings and balancing it all out and all of that. So it's it's a tough decision, and Andy Avalos and Tim Plough and that entire coaching staff they're going to be tested this week. And I think if one thing that Tim Plough and Andy Avalos, especially Andy Avalos, made clear yesterday, time and time again, they said that they have belief in their players. Time and time again, they said that what they saw throughout fall camp did not necessarily translate to the field. And I know the fan base can interpret that one way or the other. That can either be a really good thing or a really bad thing, and that's up for you to decide, right? But at the same time, they still have a lot of confidence in this team. They feel like they can untap whatever they're doing in practice and push it forward to game day. And the players have said it too. If you remember in the post-game press conference the other day, BJ, when we were just kind of talking to Riley Smith about the offense, and it was just kind of in general, he went one step further and was like, this offense is explosive. It can be explosive. They've seen it be explosive. But the only thing is if you can't be at fall practice, for more than a couple periods at the beginning, you're taking somebody's word for it. And I know that might sound harsh, but it is what it is. So in a weird roundabout way, BJ, like, I can't wait until those guys over there can say, hey, we told you so. Thanks for doubting us. We told you so.
And I think whoever starts Friday against New Mexico probably will have some success. I know we can hype up Rocky Long's defense and say all that, but I mean, Boise State's over a 2-touchdown favorite. Yeah. They should be able to score 30-plus points, you'd think, in that game. But
that's why it would be alarming if they don't find a consistent rhythm at some point.
But you mentioned, the fact that I just lost my train of thought. Some of the people listening did not like it when Avalos said, "I've seen this offense put up things against our defense," because then they took that as, then the defense must not be very good either.
I gotta say, I just don't know if I'm buying that. I think this defense is going to be all right. I really do, and I could be wrong, but it is so tough to judge them off what happened in Corvallis on Saturday. The positions they were put in, I mean, we talk about this all the time with Boise State's offense, right? Like, you have to be more productive on early downs so you're less predictable on late downs, right? You have to get yards on first and second down so that the defense just doesn't know, like, they got one option to try to get 8 yards on third down, which means they're passing, which means we're coming after them, right? The same goes for defense. If you put your defense in terrible spots when it comes to field position, all of a sudden Oregon State's playbook opens up to every single thing they have. They can take shots, they can waste downs, they can do all that because they know that they're in phenomenal field position, and they might even have a fourth down to work with because their field position is so good. And so a lot of those shot plays came. There was only one that really didn't, and that was the one that happened when Oregon State was really backed up after the Ashton Genty fumble. But a lot of the other shot plays that happened, it was after a turnover or some circumstance that gave the ball to Oregon State in really good field position. And so I think you're going to see this defense do even more so than the offense. You're going to see this defense bounce back this next week and controlling circumstances that make it better for them, make the opposing offense less unpredictable is going to really help them out.
Oh, well, let's hear from Andy Avalos, but first I want to tell you about a couple of our great sponsors here. The Blue and Orange Store. Check them out, theblueandorangestore.com. They got free shipping on any order over $40. So if you go online, free shipping, any order over $40. And I have a few left, by the way, some gift cards, $25 gift card to the Blue and Orange Store. If you sign up for a one-year subscription to BroncoNationNews.com, sign up today. You get a $25 gift card, and then you also get a free round of golf at Timberstone Golf Course. And that's a $25 gift card to the Blue and Orange Store. And if you just joined us and missed it, we have a new show. A new show is starting this week with Winston Venable, John Mallory, and myself. The new show is going to be BNN After Dark, 8 p.m. every Wednesday. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m., a new evening show that's only available for subscribers. And the goal is to kind of have some fun. We'll get into a little bit of sports gambling talk with Circa Sports, our new partner there. And then we're also going to have Winston bring on one of his former players, and we'll talk stories and stuff. The first one tomorrow is Tyler Shoemaker. Tyler Shoemaker will be the first guest tomorrow at 8 p.m. Wednesday. And again, thanks to Circa Sports. Make sure you check out Circa when you're down there. We'll be telling you all about them moving forward. But this is possible thanks to Circa to be able to up Johnny and Winston's pay and have them on Wednesday nights. But again, this is a subscriber-only show on Wednesday nights. So if you want some insight, some stories, fun time, you got to be a subscriber, and you can do that at BroncoNationNews.com. And again, we'll throw in the free gift card to free $25 gift card to Pro Image, but also a free round of golf at Timberstone if you sign up for a 1-year subscription at Bronco Nation News. And again, check out the Blue and Orange store for all your needs. Ridley's Family Markets, shop Ridley's.com, 13 Idaho locations, the at-home shopping, the Skip app, the home delivery, all that great stuff. Check out shop Ridley's.com. Transportation compliance service. If you're looking for a new career change, how about becoming a truck driver? Whether it's the big rig you see on the screen there or driving one of those Amazon trucks that you see in your neighborhood, they can help you with all the permits, all the things you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. So check them out, transcompservice.com. Boise Dentistry Co. Those are my kids on the screen there. They're smiling. Dr. Miner must be doing something right. Check out Boise Dentistry Co. Locations across the Treasure Valley, 208-906-1255. Full family dentistry. Check out Boise Dentistry Co. And United Commercial Insurance, 44 states around the country. They can write business policy insurance. So make sure you check out United Commercial Insurance. If you own a business, if you do the business insurance, handle that policies, they can help you out. Again, 44 states around the country, but they're based here in the Treasure Valley. Check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Here's Andy Avalos talking about Taylen Green and Hank Bachmeier.
You know, it was again, we made the adjustment in the game because we felt comfortable enough with Taylen and what he had done throughout fall camp and the gains that he had made and his ability to run the offense, because you know there's a lot that goes into it at that position, from the standpoint of ID in fronts and obviously being able to set protections and run plays and all those things. And so Taylen's growth with all that, you know, has been huge from last year. You know, can he operate at the level of Hank? Well, Hank's been in, we just talked about how many games that Hank has played in as a Boise State Bronco. From his experiences, he obviously has more. But there's obviously some things that Taylen Green does extremely well. And we're very excited about those things that Taylen does. Well, I think he got a real idea of all the things that he's, you know, that are put into his environment every day in terms of his preparation, because he got to experience it, right? He got to go on the field and understand, why does Coach Plough make such a huge emphasis about this, this, and this? He was able to go in there and operate and say, like, well, okay, I see why that comes up all the time. I see why he's, you know, my coach is so concerned about this, because when you're out there and the coach isn't right behind you, you know, helping you operate like he is in practice, or he's not yelling from the sideline when you're in an arena where you can't hear, you know, he understands now some of those things from an operation standpoint, and then from an execution standpoint of staying on time, you know, with it. Obviously, there are a few plays there in the pass game that he was able to extend with his legs, which was awesome. That's the element that Taylen Green has that, you know, there's not a lot of quarterbacks, you know, especially on our roster, that have that ability to extend plays with their legs the way he's capable of. I think there's always a benefit of having a mobile quarterbacks, but there's also a benefit of you know, the experience of a quarterback. So finding that balance within and creating that experience and creating that growth, you know, is obviously where we're working to get to. TG, whether it's in the run game, he brings another element to the field. I think we saw some runs out there in the run game that, you know, support his athletic ability and what we think of him that way. Obviously within the pass game, we've got to continue to grow. That's in the pass game. We've made strides, but we have to continue to grow and understand not only the progressions of which we are operating through on different route combinations, but setting protections and all those things as well.
So it's kind of the dilemma, Jay. You know, do you go with maybe the more exciting, talented future of the program in Taylen Green, knowing that there may be some mistakes passing the ball. You had to use 2 timeouts because they weren't lined up right. Some of the mental things, you may have to deal more with that, but you'll take that because of what he provides with his legs, or you maybe go with the steadier, maybe safer Hank Bachmeier with his knowledge of the offense, his command of the offense, and maybe a little bit more of a polished passer, but obviously not nearly the athlete he is in the running game. And then, obviously having some issues in other areas right now as well. So it's going to be very interesting how the coaches sift through this week.
It is. We've said this already. I really do think Hank gets the start against New Mexico. I have no inside information on that. And I mean, as you can see yesterday, the coaches were transparent about the past, but not necessarily about the future, which I understand. I don't know in this situation how many coaches would come out and be like, yeah, we're starting this guy. Have at it, New Mexico, especially when they do offer such contrasting styles of play, it seems, right? And so, they got a big decision to make about the betterment of the team, not just in the present and the future. But I mean, right now, Saturday, like they've got to get this thing right. I will say this, BJ, and I kind of smirked about this, and maybe it's been said, but I don't know if it has been on social media yet. Canceling that Michigan State game doesn't seem like the worst thing in the world right now.
Probably not. I mean, fans might say, "Oh, they have a chance to beat them." Fans might disagree with you a little bit on that, but it might be a little safer.
That's fine.
Might be a little safer now to take the UT Martin game.
Hey.
Somebody did ask, Derek says he's still got Boise State winning 10 games this year. Saturday just seems screwy. Field position, injuries, cramping, jitters, certainly. And I think we all think now they're going to be 3-1 going into those conference games. But we would not have been nearly as confident in the next 3 games if Michigan State was there instead of UT Martin.
And that's all I'm saying, because now all of a sudden you get a conference game against an opponent that definitely is in the bottom half of the conference. And then you get an FCS opponent on the blue in an afternoon game right after that, right? And so these are 2 really good opportunities to feel like you can put something together. And I don't even just mean productive offense or defense. I mean like guys feeling good about themselves as they hit that 2-game stretch against San Diego State and Fresno State.
2 quick sorry, Jay.
No, and if Michigan State was sitting there in 2 weeks, it would be impossible for anyone, us, players, coaches. I know that they can say that they're laser focused, but it would be impossible to not have that somewhere in the back of your mind. Like, once we get through New Mexico on Friday, we got to figure out Michigan State on Saturday.
That is an interesting dynamic and dilemma that I hadn't thought of, and probably for this team is better the way it's worked out. 2 quick topics before we let you go, Jay. I do want to ask about the play calling and maybe just in general the offense, because Matt says, where's the sweep plays, the gadget plays, slants, something? Have to keep the opposing defenses guessing. We saw none of that. I did have an issue. I thought a lot of George Talani's runs were between the tackles. I would have maybe liked to see him go outside a little more. You saw some of the quarterback pass and some of the misdirection stuff that Oregon State did, and that obviously worked in the first game. And I know it, like, once Taylen Green went in, that probably changed the playbook a lot. I get it. And early on with the pressure from the O-line, they didn't have a lot they could do. But what did you make of what we've seen, play calling wise and just offensively as a whole?
I think they were so far off. I mean, given the circumstances, that I don't know how anything could have been, remotely what they had planned going into that game. Like, I think Bachmeier nobody predicted that. I'm assuming the coaches in their game prep weren't going to be like, well, we'll script this out for Hank. I mean, you got to remember, BJ, like, usually in that West Coast offense, and I think Tim has said this, I don't know the exact number of plays, but usually in the West Coast offense, somewhere between 10 and 15, I don't think usually as many as 20, but somewhere between 10 and 15 of your plays are pre-scripted before the game, right?
Yep.
And so they didn't even get to that point necessarily with Hank Bachmeier.
Well, they tried. I mean, 3 passing plays on the first 3 plays of the game, which I thought was a little interesting as well.
Yeah, that, especially given the hype around George Halani, you figured like maybe they get a run play in there a little quicker, but maybe Oregon State's thinking the same thing, so they go in a different direction. I don't know. Oh, I just don't feel like I can judge this offense and this team off of the game in Corvallis, given what was going on. If we're saying that again at this time next week, that will be alarming.
Well, final thing, because I know you got to go, but whether it was the O-line, maybe it
Yeah.
was KHG coming back, maybe a little
Yeah.
rusty. We mentioned George Kalani, but a lot of that was on the running game. Anything else just from that game you want to touch on before you go?
The interior of the offensive line has to play better, and I think that they would be the first guys to tell you that. Kekani Okoho, Malia Gonzalez has drawn so much praise this offseason, and that he just really makes people around him better. And to be blunt, I don't know if we saw that in game one. We didn't see that in game one. And being his first live action in a long time, you could tell he wanted it bad, man. I just think the game at times was moving a little fast, and hopefully it slows down for a lot of those guys this week. But the interior of that line has to be better. They have to be more physical, because without a doubt, Oregon State won the battle at the line of scrimmage, and oftentimes even on run plays, which you should be firing. I mean, on a run play, you should be firing off the football, right? Like, you should be denting the line of scrimmage as an offensive line. And even when on run plays, it was often Oregon State denting the offensive line. So they got to figure that out. They got to play better, and we'll see how it all transpires moving forward.
Well, he's Jay Tust. I'm going to keep this going for a little bit, but we appreciate Jay for popping on, and Jay will both be in Albuquerque Friday, so we'll do this from Albuquerque on Friday. It's never thought of a game against New Mexico having so much intrigue, but can't wait for Friday, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. See if it's a get back game for the Broncos.
Appreciate it, Jay. Hey, we're broadcasting from the Cutwater Canned Cocktails Studios. Make sure you check out one of their canned cocktails next time you're looking for a cold beverage, whether it's the Long Island, the Vodka Mule, the Bloody Mary, all the great flavors you see on the screen there, pre-mixed, ready to go at your local gas station or grocery store. So make sure you check out Cutwater Canned Cocktails. I mentioned all of our great sponsors earlier. I do want to hope folks will subscribe to the YouTube channel. That thing continues to take off. If you're watching on YouTube right now, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It just takes a second or two, and we're really starting to make some progress on the YouTube channel. We're up almost 1,300 YouTube subscribers, and that helps us show up in searches and things like that. And we're putting a lot of daily content up there. Today, we'll be talking to Tim Keene, the offensive line coach. We'll be talking to John Ojukwu, Tyreek Jones. We'll put the full interviews from our chats today up on the YouTube channel. So if you just go to the YouTube channel, you'll get the full interviews this afternoon. We'll pop those on there, and you'll be good to go. And hey, as I mentioned earlier, we're really excited about what we got going on with the new show tomorrow night. Some people joined us late, but we got a new show debuting on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, and it's only for subscribers. John Mallory, Winston Venable, and myself for BNN After Dark. We're going to have some fun, talk BSU, talk a little sports gambling. We're going to get some insight from some former players that are going to join Winston each week. So that's the plan every week, is to have a former player join Winston and Johnny and I. We got great response to last week when we had Winston on telling some stories and things. So Tyler Shoemaker will be the first guest at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So 8 o'clock tomorrow, Tyler Shoemaker will join Winston and Johnny and I. We'll have some fun, tell some stories, talk about, again, a little more about the game Saturday, what those guys would do with the quarterback battle moving forward. And again, it's for subscribers only. You'll get an email with a private link to the YouTube link to watch the show tomorrow. So if jump on board, we're still offering that gift card at Pro Image, $25 gift card and a free round of golf at Timberstone if you sign up for a subscription, and that'll give you access to the subscriber-only show. That'll be every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, and that starts tomorrow night. Thanks to our friends at Circa Sports. I will actually be in the Circa Sports Sportsbook tomorrow night, 8 p.m. I will be in Vegas doing the first show live from the sportsbook as we kick off our partnership with Circa Sports. And that partnership is going to go all the way through March Madness. So, yes, we will be back at Circa Sports with Bronco Nation News for the Mountain West basketball tournament. So if you're making plans to go to that, make sure you join us at Circa Resort and Casino on downtown Las Vegas. We are looking forward to that. Hey, Matt Boucher, appreciate him. No home is too big or small for Matt Boucher, the number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. BoucherRealEstate.com. Please consider him for all of your real estate needs. Timberstone Golf Course, I mentioned we're giving away that gift card if you sign up. Check them out, playtimberstone.com. Timberstone Golf Course out there in Caldwell. It's the greens, the course are in excellent shape right now. So if you're looking to go sneak out, play some golf, playtimberstone.com. You can go ahead now and sign up, get your tee time there. They've got affordable rates going on, especially in the afternoon and evening. So make sure you check out Timberstone Golf Course. And if you're looking for, you don't feel like making dinner, check out Westside Pizza. Use the promo code BNN25 and you get 25% off your next order at Westside Pizza. 25% off online, westsidepizza.com, using that promo code BNN25. That's all you got to do. BNN25 is the promo code. You get 25% off your order, and you can get a carry-out one-topping pizza for $7.50 using that promo code at BNN25. We got some comments coming through here. Shoeman, are we playing Wazoo in Moscow this fall? No, Jordan, it's in Boise. It's the arena in Boise, downtown Boise, Idaho Central Arena. That might even be announced today by the arena. Should be out in the next few days, but Boise State basketball will be playing downtown Boise, Idaho Central Arena. Used to be CenturyLink Arena. Now our friends at ICCU. We love those folks at ICCU, have the naming rights to the arena downtown, and they will be playing there. People ask, well, why? It's a much smaller arena. Well, for Boise State, it is a smaller arena, yes, but it helps in the net rankings, because if you're a visiting team coming in, for them to be quad one for Boise State, if that game's at Extra Mile Arena, Washington State would have to be in the top 30 of the net. Even though it's in Boise, and even though it's 2 miles away from campus, this will technically count as a neutral site game for Boise State. So that means that for a neutral site game, Wazoo can be in the top 50 of the net. So you get 20 extra spots to play with for this to be a quad one game if Washington State can get into the top 50 instead of having to be in the top 30 for the net ranking. So that's basically why they're doing it. I also think Washington State was probably okay with it because it's a smaller arena and they don't have to play inside Extra Mile Arena. But I think it'll be a pretty cool atmosphere if you pack the arena. Idaho Central Credit Union, it's a smaller arena, but 5,000-6,000 people in there. They're going to be selling all the suites, all the courtside seats. And my understanding is it's going to be November 12th. It's the same day as the Boise State Nevada football game, but they're going to play this game at 5 o'clock, and then the football game is at 8:30. So you come downtown, 5 o'clock is the basketball game, and that still gives you an hour and a half to go find a sports bar or to head on home, so you won't miss the football game either. So they had that in mind when they picked the time of this game. So I think it's going to be a pretty cool Saturday evening if you're a Boise State fan to see Wazoo and Boise State at 5 o'clock downtown, and then go home and watch the Nevada BSU football game at 8:30. And, I agree. The atmosphere was awesome for that Idaho game. I'll bet you it's a sold-out, awesome atmosphere again, and it'll probably get pretty loud in there. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. So he says, John Rothstein said Idaho Central Credit Union Arena, not Idaho Central Arena. So I was scared for a second. He also said it was the return game of a home and home. It's not a return game. It was a one-game series up there in Spokane. And then the two teams were actually just going to scrimmage privately this year, and then decided that they both needed a game and decided to add this in. So he was wrong twice on that, but he did have the report that the game was happening. I'd heard about it a week or two ago, but they were waiting for the contract to be signed. But that should be announced in the next day or two, and then it sounds like the schedule's pretty much done. So that first home game will be against South Dakota State on November 9th. Then they'll have this game, and then they've got the tournament after that. So a tough early schedule. The first 5 games are going to be pretty tough. And then obviously the Texas A&M game, the St. Louis game. I mean, this is a really, really tough schedule for Boise State with some new guys stepping into roles, with Chibuzo Agbo and Mo Silla and, Sada and Ganga. So some newcomers on the team. So going to be a very interesting basketball season moving forward. And I know some folks were saying, hey, it's already basketball season. Daniel's mentioning a Michigan State football game, but I don't see it in the coming years. It's gone. They were supposed to play a week from Saturday, Daniel. Up until about a year ago, Michigan State was supposed to play in Boise on next Saturday, but that game was removed from the schedule last year, and they replaced it with Tennessee Martin for the home game. So that's what we were referring to. You would have had another tough game against Michigan State coming up in a week and a half, but now you get a home game against Tennessee Martin instead. So appreciate everybody for jumping on. I will be in Boise for the morning show with Winston tomorrow. Winston Venable show will be Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow night, I will be in Las Vegas at the Circa Casino and Sportsbook for the debut of our new BNN After Dark show. How about that? We're going all the way to Las Vegas to record the first episode because we're that excited about it. It's going to be an awesome show. And again, Tyler Shoemaker will be our first guest. And Winston Venable is going to get a different former player, Doug Martin, Kellen Moore, all the big names Winston's going to try to get him on the show, and we'll tell stories and have fun going down memory lane. And we'll get their thoughts on the current team. We'll talk some current team stuff too, but it'll be a little more laid back, a little more conversational, just kind of having a drink, talking sports than the morning shows. And so we're looking really forward to debuting that tomorrow night at 8 p.m. John Mallory, Winston Venable, and myself. Really looking forward to that tomorrow night at 8 o'clock will be the debut. So Tyler Shoemaker, the first guest, and work on some other guests there. My wife's supposed to be working today. She's working at the hospital in St. Louis, but apparently watching live. So appreciate it and love you, hun, but get back to work. And appreciate all you guys for checking us out. We really had a great time in Corvallis. It was a lot of fun. Our viewership has been continuing to trend up, and we really, really appreciate everybody that is checking out Bronco Nation News, telling your friends about Bronco Nation News. Our YouTube numbers continue to go up. Our live streaming numbers are going up. Our website page views are going up. It's been a great month, great start to the month here for Bronco Nation News. So hopefully you'll support all the sponsors. Hopefully you'll subscribe. If you don't already subscribe, get one of those $25 gift cards to Pro Image. Get the free round of golf out to Timberstone Golf Course. We would love to have your subscription. We'll give you some free stuff. And like I said, you got to be a subscriber to watch the new Wednesday night BNN After Dark show moving forward here. So appreciate everybody. If you are a subscriber, I got the envelopes right here. I'll be putting some more in the mail here today, right after the show here to folks that have signed up. So there's still time for you to sign up, and I'll drop the gift cards in the mail today. So looking forward. But Jordan says we're all supposed to be working. LOL. This always hypes me up to work harder. Appreciate it. Nathaniel says over under the $500 that I win tomorrow in Vegas. I would definitely take the under on that. I'm not sure there will be much time, to be honest, to do sports wagering. I'm jumping in, doing some interviews, and jumping out, Nathaniel, to head to Albuquerque. This is just kind of a long layover to get all this done, but excited about it, and looking forward to maybe checking out Stadium Swim one more time. My wife's hoping for the over on that, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm not expecting that. I have to get the wife's approval to even gamble in the first place, so maybe that's a good sign there if she's hoping for the over. But it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it. Bronco Nation News is off and rolling, and I appreciate all you guys. Been fun. We're one football game but we're going to keep this thing rolling, and really excited about the future of where we're going. And thanks again to Jay Tust. I know Jay's got a lot going on. He's got a little one at home. Tuesdays he's technically off from KTVB, and he doesn't get a lot of time off. So for Jay to give up his time for these shows, which when he's probably not making nearly as much as the time he's putting in for me paying him to do this, I really do appreciate Jay and want to thank him again for coming on these shows twice a week. Prater, Johnny, Winston, them as well, giving up their time to do these shows has been awesome, and I really appreciate them and the whole Bronco Nation News team. So was a lot of fun over with Colin Mitchell and Corvallis, and we're looking forward to doing it again Friday in Albuquerque for the second straight road game. I know the Blue Collar Club has an event going on in Albuquerque as well, so make sure you check out the Blue Collar Club if you're heading to Albuquerque, and see where they're going to be at for some pregame fun and games. I think before the game, I believe 3 to 5 or something like that. So make sure to check that out. Thanks again to all of our sponsors: Idaho Central Credit Union, Lithia Ford of Boise, Rowpaint.com, Ridley's Family Markets, the Blue and Orange Store, Matt Bauscher, United Commercial Insurance, Boise Dentistry Co., Timberstone Golf Course, and Transportation Compliance Service. We could not do Bronco Nation News without all of our sponsors, without all of our subscribers, and without all of our fans. So appreciate you. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. If stuff happens, we'll come back in and break in with a show. If not, check the YouTube channel later today, and we'll get you Tim Plough. That Tim Plough is already up there, but we'll get you Tim Keene, the offensive line coach who's talking today. Tyreek Jones and John Ojukwu are the 3-player interviews today, so we'll get those up there on the YouTube channel. If you missed any of Andy or Tim Plough or Spencer Danielson, their full video is up on the YouTube channel as well. Have a great day. We'll talk to you with Winston Venable, 9 a.m. tomorrow. This is Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.